Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Look who I got with me.
Hey,
Zach
guys.
Gilday. Oh boy, here we go again. What is this? Storm system number 27
Who
this year.
knows? I lost count.
We've been losing count for sure. And we've also been losing the count of how many times Scott and LaFleur County
Yeah.
have been under severe
Seems
weather.
like every system, that severe threat is in the Florida Scott County.
I just have never seen this before with so many severe weather events that just barely get the moisture nudging in at the
Yeah.
last second. So would have done a Facebook Live a little bit earlier, but we were watching actually the National Weather Service out of Tulsa doing their storm spotter training. So they had a virtual training. They're going to have two more. We'll tell you about them as they get closer. But if you did catch that, November 4th was a big day where the storms were once again in LaFleur and Scott County.
Yeah.
But there were a few more storms in Northwest Arkansas too. All right, let's get to it. Let's show you what's happening. And we got a lot to go over. So if you guys have some questions, go ahead and feel free to jump on and let me know, and I'll try to answer them. So first of all, Zach, we got a dry line that's off to the west. So we've got a cold front, and boy, this cold front means business.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. Friday morning.
Yeah.
Not going to be too warm out there.
And I'm happy because my son goes to Haas Hall, and they have off of school
Nice.
tomorrow and Friday. So
Spring break type deal?
yeah,
Nice.
spring break, and they basically just for great behavior and for good studying, and they just kind of give them a couple days off.
Cool.
So, all right, this is the surface map right now. Did you know that there were tornado warnings and flash floods and severe thunderstorms out west? So, in fact, this system that's moving in has been pretty intense. Here you see all the energy that's moving in. So, it's a sign that maybe this system might be a little bit more than what we expect. So we're going to take the camera off the screen. We're going to show you what we expect with the surface front. So first of all, these lines that you see on the screen, these are lines of equal pressure, and they're called isobars. And when they're tightly compacted like this, that means some strong winds. So see how those winds will increase. Here's the warm front lifting northward, and then there's the thunderstorm activity. Now, I just want to let you know you will be seeing a round of rain during the morning into the late morning. And then we get a break. I think personally we get a break. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Yeah, the miles, they've been trending about noon to 3-ish. Should be a break in the action.
Yeah.
And then once we get to the late afternoon, evening, then those severe storm chances look to ramp back up.
And that's all because of the front coming in. So they will be ramping up. We're going to show you the timing. We're going to give you the details. First, we want to just kind of do a little bit of a wider view so you can see those storms. But as we take a look here, moving this along in time, there's the front pushing through. Now, you'll notice this area in southeast Oklahoma. It's ahead of the front, ahead of the cold front. It's east of the dry line, and it's east of the low, the triple point. This is where your tornado potential is going to be greatest, right in that region. So we're going to be watching that closely. And then you can see that system pushing east and south, and boy, is it going to be cold for Friday. Friday, look at all those isobars, only this time it's a strong northerly wind. That's a pretty intense low pressure system too. So someone said right here, if it remains cloudy after the first round, it'll kill the evening threat. And honestly, Jeff, that's what I'm banking on, I hope.
Yeah, me too.
It kills the evening threat for sure. What is this? Just watch. The morning rain will keep the afternoon storms from forming and happening. Just watch. It always happens that way. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with that. In fact, I think that's going to be a good possibility in a lot of locations, but maybe not LaFleur and Scott County. So here's a look at the rain likely for our Thursday. Some severe storms south of I-40, not all severe storms, and a strong cold front comes in late Thursday night. A rather blustery weekend is ahead. If you watch the weather forecast, this is some of the stuff that I kind of showed. But there's that severe weather risk, and I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking this. What happened on Saturday? Saturday was a big old bust.
Northwest Arkansas, nothing.
Yeah, it was. So we had that system on Saturday that came through, and it just really didn't do much at all. We were expecting at least some thunderstorms, some hail.
Yeah, but before that, the models, they kind of backed off a little bit.
They did.
And they have not for this system.
Yeah. They haven't backed off. You'll see that. We're going to show you the future track radar in just a bit. We'll show you a timing too. We got a timing graphic, so you know exactly when to expect these storms. But But Scott County did get hammered
Oh, yeah,
on
sure did.
Saturday. Southern Scott County. We're talking like right along the county line. It was just like
Just clipped us.
yeah, and it was almost like, well, we can't worry, we don't have to worry about this, but we do because it's in our weather
Yeah,
coverage
hail was like
area.
1.5 inches.
Yeah, there's some pretty big,
Yeah.
some ping pong size. I think there was golf balls in central Arkansas, so that was the
Yeah.
biggest hail that
Mhm.
I saw. In fact, there was over 2 inches. There was a
Oh.
2-inch hail
Wow.
report. I saw that on the storm reports, some pretty large hail that happened. So at least that's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. We'll maybe double check that. We'll verify the source. All right. So back to this. As we take a look at our graphics, you'll see that the tornado threat, it's there, but it includes Scott County, LaFleur County.
Yeah, sure does.
Again, just like it always does. So here's the reason why that's the case. It's all about this moisture return. And so we've been so active, we've had so many systems coming through that they've shoved the moisture down into the Gulf of Mexico, and what we call it's scoured out the moisture. So it has to be a long enough period of time to get that humidity and that mugginess back into the area where you see a substantial severe weather threat. But
Yeah.
instead, we've got these fronts coming through, and it's almost like a wave where the wave gets pushed down shore and then it kind of builds back up and then it gets pushed back down. That's exactly what's happening. So here's a look at the humidity and the dew points returning. So you can see that we do get into the lower middle 50s. That's sufficient for rain. Upper 50s is sufficient for thunderstorms. But with the ingredients in place and the cooler air in Northwest Arkansas, I don't think we see as severe storms. But look at this darker green nosing in. It's just at the
So close.
last second that it noses in. And then the front pushes through. So we don't have to worry about storms tomorrow night. We do have to worry about them mostly during the day with daylight saving time too. Sunsets after 7
Yeah.
o'clock. So this looks to be a daytime event. Now, CAPE, or convective available potential energy, is the amount of fuel that's available for these thunderstorms. So the amount of fuel is basically how strong the storms will be. Well, you can see that energy making it into eastern Oklahoma, southeast Oklahoma, but guess what happens in northwest Arkansas?
Not much.
It disappears. Why is that? Cloud cover and rain is going to keep us cool. We're going to have elevated, what we call, ready for this? This is a fancy term, crapvection.
I like it.
That's what storm spotters call it, crapvection, because it's the storms that are ahead of it. And then you can see that energy pushing out, and everything's kind of over. So let's take a look at this future track, and we're going to step through this, hour by hour. So first of all, tomorrow morning, I think around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I think there's going to be a wave of precipitation. We're going to show you the Texas Tech WRF model too, coming up in just a bit. But we do get a break. I had a question about a color run that's happening at Thomas Jefferson Elementary tomorrow, 1:30 to about 2:15. I think it's going to be okay. I think the early morning, late morning, or early morning will be okay. Late morning will have some rain. There's going to be a break in the action, and then we get additional rain and storms. That's going to start popping up around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now you can see that developing. And here's why, we can't just say, oh, nothing's going to happen because of this. There could be a strong storm like this that pushes into potentially northwest Arkansas. Now, they definitely will be on a weakening trend, but man, that's too close for comfort.
Yeah, way too close.
And it's still in our weather coverage area too. It's still in the river valley. Then the system pushes off to the east. So we got Michelle here that's Team Snow, says, bring on the snow.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I like that.
Yeah, you like the snow, don't you? What do you think, Zach, about this snow?
I mean, there's a chance for a few flurries on the backside of this whole system here, but accumulation, not going to happen.
I don't think it does either, unless a heavy convective band sets up. It can always there will always be surprises, but we are looking at some cold air. There is going to be a thin band of precipitation. Wouldn't be surprised if some snow is squeezed out, just considering how strong the system is. And then you can see it moving out. But boy, oh boy, you ready for the wind chills? We showed this on the news earlier. If you could miss the newscast, watch this front. My goodness, does that really drop the temperatures? So 21 for the wind chill. That's at midnight tomorrow night. After highs will be in the lower 60s. And then look at this wind chill. I'm so thankful. So thankful. Look at Martha. That's what I tuned in for. So Thomas Jefferson Elementary color run.
Nice.
Well, I've been in contact with Lacey Moore, and you're doing it because I think there is going to be a break during the early afternoon. Now, it may still rain. There might be some showers, but the storm activity, from what I can tell and what everything else looks like, it doesn't develop until that front moves in. Call it like it is. The Colby effect will strike again tomorrow. You know, Colby's actually going out of town on Friday, so next week we're going to have to prepare for all heck to break loose. Margie, I hear you. I am so ready for warmer weather because look at this. Friday, St. Patrick's Day, there's no green colors on there at all. It's all blue for our area. That's some pretty cold weather. So there's a Fayetteville always gets that word always gets the short end of the stick, if you will. Here's a look at the 2-day forecast timeline. There you see the temperature drop. We hit the lower 60s. Then you can see the temperatures dropping down into the upper 20s to lower 30s. Notice the precipitation that pops up. It's no doubt we're going to see rain during the morning hours. That's around 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Then we do have that little lull, but we didn't go zero. You can't go zero with this type of system.
Yeah.
And why is that, Zach?
A lot of energy, a lot of pieces of energy passing through. A very strong system.
Yeah.
And we sure saw that this afternoon. We had severe weather in the Mojave Desert.
Mojave Desert, you're pointing that out. And you said you were there one time as you were traveling.
Yeah.
What was that on that highway towards Las Vegas?
Yeah,
right?
like 15.
Yeah. Baker,
Yeah,
California.
it was 115 degrees.
Golly, that's the hottest temperature you've ever experienced?
Yeah.
It was 110 here back in August 3rd of 2011.
Oh man, was it humid?
No, it
No?
was extremely dry. In fact,
That's
it hit 91. It was hitting 91 at 9 o'clock in the morning. I was
Man.
like, holy cow, this
That's
is going to
crazy.
be a hot day. I remember how hot that was. But it was very breezy and it wasn't super humid. I think if it was humid, I don't think it could have got that hot.
Yeah.
Because the humidity is going
Definitely
to be
not.
a lot tougher to get that hot. So there's the timing of that. We also have this timing graphic that Zach developed, and I think it really kind of tells the story for our weather coverage area. You'll see these outlines right here. So there's an overlap, 3 to 6, in that time window right there. 4 to 8 in parts of Northwest Arkansas, I-49 corridor. This will be during evening commute time. Not to say that we won't see thunderstorms. I think we do see thunderstorms, just not necessarily severe weather. There could be a strong gust or something like that. But here's a look at, you can see Jasper, Harrison, Clarksville, Boonville, some pretty cold weather that's going to be moving in behind that system and behind that front. Got a comment here that makes me. We just launched a new weather camera located on mountain that overlooks Marshall. Oh man, that's gonna be amazing. Blaze, is that what kind of weather camera is that? Let me know because that's incredible. I want to show you our weather camera, one of our favorites. What is one of our favorites? I personally like this one. Check this out, Blaze. This is Mount Magazine, and how about that view right there? So this is overlooking Blue Mountain Lake. This is overlooking eastern Scott County, western Yell County. And that's pretty awesome. As you'll see here, when we put this into motion, not only can we see clouds, we can see storms for days as long as we're not shrouded in cloud cover. We can also see the low-level jet, and you can see the smoke that was coming in. Look at that sunset, too. Man, that's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, excited to use it to see lightning. What kind of camera is it? We have a lot of Axis cameras, and we got a new software that will be debuting tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I think you're gonna like it. Let's just say it gives us a lot of eyes in the sky at the same time. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Blaze, let me know about that. Next week looks fun also. It does. And Colby will be out of town, so batten down the hatches. If we want to look at next week, by the way, the long range cycle, Doug Heddy, he was predicting that March 22nd through the 24th might bring some stuff. And guess what? Looks like that might be right on the money. And he made this forecast several weeks out.
Oh,
yeah. There is something to the LRC. There's no doubt about it. The long range cycle says that the weather goes within about 40 days of a pattern. and it kind of repeats itself. It's a different length of pattern, but here's a look at this on the future track. So this is March 21st, maybe a little bit. I don't think there's going to be any rain. We kind of took it out. I don't think it happens. There's a look at March 22nd. A lot of energy. Will the instability return? What do you think? It's going to be another question.
Getting to be that time of year.
It is getting to be that time of the year, and then that system moves out. Maybe not as cold and more of a northern track. Let's take a look at the instability on that. That would be kind of interesting to check out. So we'll load that up. In the meantime, well, let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. So stand by. Bring up this weather graphic here. While we're doing that, Zach, what about the weekend, man? What can people expect?
Well, weekend it's going to be quiet, but it's going to be cold. Forecasting highs mid-40s, so it is a holiday weekend. A lot of people on spring break, but it's not going to feel like spring. Seeing those morning lows in the 20s, especially Sunday morning.
Not at all.
Close to record-breaking lows. Did you ever look at the record low for Sunday morning?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like low 20s?
Yeah, possibly upper teens. So
let's see here if this instability is returning. It's not done loading yet. Always takes a long time.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Well, here's what we got. And this is just one of the models we can show. We can also show it on other stuff. But there it is coming back. March 22nd. Yeah, see, it's not done loading. Yeah, there it is. Kind of getting cut out of northwest Arkansas again because of all the rain and all the storms. So I do want to show this. We're gonna show you the Texas Tech WRF model. It's Josh Weisel's favorite, and I think it works pretty well. Honestly, I think it's a very, very good model. So I don't know if you saw how I did that, Zach. You share the screen, and then boom, there you go. So this is the Texas Tech WRF. Make sure you don't minimize it, or it turns white, and it just disappears. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom in a little bit. And so first of all, you're going to see the front that comes in tomorrow. Pretty stout front. I think you can spot it. Man, that's crazy. Strong northwesterly winds behind it. Watch the temperatures plummet for Friday morning. Man, that is cold. So that's definitely got that. Now, what about severe potential? Well, let's look at, first of all, the significant tornado parameter. So this is where the moisture and the instability starts surging in, and you're going to see it in southeast Oklahoma. It tries to make its way into northwest Arkansas, but then it gets cut out. Look at that. But it still is nosing in because it has a little bit longer. It has to travel a little bit less into LaFleur County.
It's going to be a very close call.
It's a very close call.
That moisture returns just like a half hour sooner. Could be some.
Why does it always have to be so close? If we look at here, hail size, you'll see some. This is one of the only models I know that does a hail size track, and it actually did really well with the Scott County storms on Saturday. But it does show maybe a little bit of small hail in northwest Arkansas. Then you can see how it just dies out, and you can also see how it dies out in our area. I personally think McCurtain County is going to be under the gun.
Yeah.
McCurtain County is the same area that got blasted by the November 4th severe weather event. You were seeing that in our storm spotting class. So here's an updraft helicity. These are the rotating storms. There it is in McCurtain County. That McCurtain County is extreme southeast Oklahoma. That's the farthest southeast county that you can get. And finally, one more look. This is the reflectivity from the 3-kilometer WRF model. The only thing that the weakness of this model is that sometimes it's not very reliable in terms of actually being able to look at it.
Yeah, that happened last Saturday.
Down. Yeah.
It went down right before
it happened.
The storms came through.
So here's a look at the rain. This, by the way, is that round that comes in during the morning into the late morning. And there's a piece of energy that brings a little bit of shower activity. Now, if that clears out, maybe we'll warm up, but you see additional showers kind of popping up here and there, cloud cover, probably keeping us pretty cool. There's the line of storms. There's no doubt we're going to get rain. 100% chance of rain area wide. Every single square inch of the area will see rain. Storms maybe just a little bit more intense with that right there in McCurtain County. It's amazing how well this model does, but we'll see. So I think that late morning, 16Z, by the way, this is, by the way, 9 o'clock, or this is 10 o'clock, and 11, and 17Z now is noon.
Yep.
So you got to go you -5 for daylight saving time. And then notice there's just not a whole lot that happens. 3, 4 o'clock, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's out of here. So that's what we're looking at. The amount of precipitation, I think it's going to be around a ½ inch to an inch in most locations. And so there you go. We look at this. This is another model. This is the wrap model. You can see that precipitation popping up again during the late morning, moves out. This kind of has rain the whole time. I'm not necessarily buying that. And the last thing I want to show you before we end this is the severe weather potential with F5 weather. You can see that it just doesn't really make it into here at all. And that's because of the cloud cover and rain and cooler temperatures. Let's look at the tornado potential. You can see that surging northward, and there it is, southern LaFleur County.
Yep.
So we need to get a camera in southern LaFleur County in a major way. Hopefully we can do that. So here's what Josh says. The evening are in a similar agreement with the northern potential risk, slightly north, very close call. Curious how this plays out. Typically, considering many other events that happen and how it didn't pan out, I'm going to go the conservative route and say it doesn't make it north of I-40.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. I just sent all the information to you on Messenger. Cool, Blaze. Love to check it out for sure. That is such a great TV name, isn't it? Blaze Thomas.
I like it.
Yeah. Blaze. Oh, here we go. So ready for Florida. Man, that would be nice. How about this? So me and my friend are driving down to Little Rock, Blake Shelton concert tomorrow. Driving back afterwards. I hope it's not piss pouring rain.
Oh.
So that's a good description, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's him that said it. But Matthew, I think that you will be driving into heavy rain on the way back for sure. But the storms will be weakening as we get farther east. Let's see here. Aren't those last minute close call forecasts just awesome? No, they're not. And like literally watching the instability return. Now, I will say this. The last call or the last moment was the Springdale tornado, March 30th. That did come back at the last moment. But the models were showing that a little bit more too.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to relive the Springdale tornado.
No.
That's coming up 15 days away from the 1-year anniversary. Dan, when is it? What is supposed to hit the Tulsa area? It's a good question. Not a whole lot, actually. If we go back to the Texas Tech WRF, the instability just really doesn't make it into oops, it's about to update the newest one. So there's going to be some thunderstorms right around 3 o'clock, Anthony. I will show you this. We'll add this. So this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is the rain and thunderstorm activity that moves through Tulsa, but it will be intensifying as it gets farther east to Tulsa. So yes, a quick hitting rain, little bit of rain in the morning, and then after that, a much colder weather pattern. Now, I do think this doesn't have any bit of that wraparound at all, does it?
No.
Nothing. Of course, that is a higher end reflectivity. Now, one thing the WRF model is bad for is winter weather. It has very little winter weather. It's more convective based because winter weather is a very big weakness of that model. So, all righty, guys. Well, that about covers it. And I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll let this go just a couple more minutes. Any last words, Zach?
Nope. Just definitely rain tomorrow, and then possibly those severe storms, but mainly just LaFleur, Scott County, south of Interstate 40.
Again, how about this question? When does warm weather get here? Hate cold weather. Really never gets here. I mean, honestly, mid-April, it'll stop dropping below freezing. But gosh, this weekend's going to be stinking. No, I hear you, man. Not a fan of driving in the dark while there is heavy rain. and also the potential for storms as well. You guys are very welcome with the updates. Thank you, Stacy. And thank you, everybody else that have watched. And for those that want to get more weather information, you know where to send them. So you guys have a great rest of your evening, what's left of it. And I will catch you guys later. I've got another tour tomorrow coming in midday. I think it's going to be okay. No storms at that time.
Yep.
But we're going to be watching everything. We'll keep you updated.
Yep, going to be a big day. Or hopefully not.
Hopefully it's
Hopefully
not. Hopefully it's a dud. Big old dud. That'd be nice. But we'll definitely see some rain. There's no doubt about that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. God bless. We'll see you later.